welcome into Coming Off the Edge, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are going to give you a couple slices of fun this evening. We are doing our 1-year anniversary of the show. It is very exciting for us. We have come together as a family of friends that just do this for fun, to have a great conversation and have a little dinner party. And some of us got the memo of frozen pizza, just, the honorary frozen pizza. I really can't hold it up.
Or Jeff's got it. Yeah.
I've got some bagel bites here. And Corey, you're holding yours up pretty close to the camera. What do you got there, bud?
A Home Run Inn, personal size. Home Run Inn is a Chicagoland area pizzeria place. So out here in Michigan, I like to remind myself of back home and why I left to come to Michigan. But I already had a slice here waiting to come to the show. So, Jeff, what do you got?
I have some Freshetta. Unfortunately, I have not been able to find my favorite frozen pizza, the Sonoma Flatbread. So Sonoma Flatbread, if you're out there and you are watching, please contact me so that I can continue to buy your fantastic gluten-free product. But anyways, I have the Freshetta gluten-free version. So that's about what I was able to find. So.
That was all right. That was pretty good.
Did you say Sonoma?
Yes, Sonoma Flatbread. I don't know if they went out of business. I am very concerned because like a week ago I went to find frozen pizza, and this is like my favorite pizza, like out of pizza, even because gluten-free is kind of limited options. And so sometimes when you get gluten-free from a restaurant, it basically feels like frozen pizza anyways. Mm-hmm. And bottom line, like this is my favorite pizza. So I'm kind of distraught and heartbroken about this right now. So
it's available for online purchase from Walmart right now.
Hey,
I'll have to check out Walmart. Yeah, they keep.
Dude. I'll buy you some. I'll send it to you, Jeff.
Their site can't be reached. That's scary. That's scary.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what? I'm on their site. Corey, you were just on there. You're good, Jeff. You're okay.
But you can't find the pizzas near you.
I can't find pizzas near you.
But you're gonna find pizzas near you.
Yeah.
I just know it.
Go to the Walmart site and see if it's on there. Like that would be, the second best idea.
I used to
out here solving
Nate,
pizza
what are you
problems.
chomping on, Nate?
So
I'm not done until I find this.
It's a Red Baron, like the little mini, like single size. It's a pepperoni, but then I threw on raw garlic and black olives about halfway through because I can't not tinker with food. That's pretty good though.
Nice.
I could pick it up at my Walmart and ship it to you.
There you go.
What's a good zip code, Jeff? Do you mind, or do you want to share it in the chat?
Just give your whole home address right here
the
on
private chat. Yeah.
Last four of your social.
No big deal.
The way I would type it in. I'm an idiot. Hold on, let me unshare it. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on.
Just out here solving pizza problems, guys.
Okay, so
we're creating other problems.
042.
Yes, that's
wow.
right.
Sorry, that wasn't his. Oh,
and we got Herms in the building. How you doing tonight, Herms?
I am well. I did not have pizza, but I am well.
That's all right.
You have a good reason.
Yeah,
I got a burrito, so pretty good. Because it was like it's like stuffed with fries,
what kind?
Chorizo, guac,
California,
like the whole rice, beans, whole thing. Like fabulous, just absolutely fabulous. I had to,
I love burritos. Absolutely love burritos. I think
burritos are the best,
smartest food ever made because it's all in one, handheld. You get to chomp down on it. You get different flavor actions going on. And it feeds you one sitting. You're done. Boom, boom.
That's what it's all about. I mean, honestly, it's convenience. And
Quick,
like you said,
easy.
handheld, huge.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge. Oh.
No, that's the way it is. What's up, Brad Bolt?
Brad, what's up, buddy?
Good day, mate.
Oh,
Jeff, I inputted that zip code you gave me, and it immediately just destroyed the website and took it away. I don't know where Jeff.
This is a conspiracy.
Jeff's zip code gave the website a virus.
Well, that company is like based in Columbus, and so that's where I'm like,
they may be boycotting you.
Oh yeah, maybe
it might be.
All right, I'm giving another shots, but if they're in Columbus, why don't they have it in Columbus?
Hey, our baseball stadium is called Coors Field, and it's really hard to find a Coors product in that stadium. It's all Bud Light for the most part.
Wow. You would think.
What? Well, but Coors just pays the sponsorship. They don't own the stadium.
like,
to be
'cause
fair.
I think Budweiser is exclusive at 28 of the 30 major league ballparks, at least last I was aware. Because like I think, well, frankly I'm a little surprised Colorado's that way, but like I know for a fact like Miller Park in Milwaukee, like there's no way they're gonna, they got their own thing they got going on. But yeah, I don't know, just random beer facts with Herms. There you go.
Everyone here, if you weren't doing fantasy football or following football, what would be the sport that you would follow?
Baseball.
NBA.
Women's beach volleyball.
Curling. I mean, what about you, Corey?
I think it's pretty common.
Hot dog
to say
eating
MLB,
competitions.
NBA. I might do like soccer, like European, not European. The other countries and stuff, that stuff with the different leagues instead of like United States soccer, because it's just not as exciting. It's cool when like a player comes over, like when Ibrahimovic joined the Galaxy and stuff. That was cool.
I thought you were going to go David Beckham, but
I enjoy boxing.
I like boxing a lot, actually.
Boxing is very cool.
Not MMA. Don't get it confused. Just
no,
regular
straight up boxing.
And nothing against UFC or anything like that. Like they're just a little bit too much for me. Like
boxing is the sweet science. I mean,
Aussie rules football.
So
hey, rugby.
Yeah, dude, rugby.
I would probably get into rugby.
My old volleyball coach when I was in 7th and 8th grade was a rugby player.
Yeah.
Her girlfriend lost an eye getting cleated playing rugby in college.
That's awesome.
Dude,
so cool.
I'll tell you what, man, when I was a kid, we used to get, for some weird reason, we had these weird sports networks that would play like Australian rules football and like international rugby matches. And I would watch those and like, American football is actually not that hard of a sport, like physically, compared to what these guys are doing with no pads. Like,
oh my god,
about it, man.
dude, it's insane. No, because I have some friends that played rugby and stuff, like all the way from like middle school, like through high school, and I think even into college. And it's like, how do you guys keep doing this to yourselves? Like, it's so brutal. It's so brutal.
Cricket,
Oh,
2.5.
I was like, real
People
football.
forget how popular.
Cricket is so.
I'm looking
popular.
at Corey's thing right
so
now.
popular.
And
I think
like,
I need to
our
watch more
football's
cricket,
Not
man.
even on it.
Well, it's popular in the United States, but most of the world doesn't care about American football. I don't think.
Wait, is that American football or regular football?
No,
That's probably soccer. There's soccer
that's-
balls on it, bro.
yeah, that's
Oh, yeah, look at
football.
that.
So
This is
American
interesting.
football falls even below golf. Wow.
I don't.
I
believe
think
that.
they put together rugby and American football for rugby here.
You think so?
I don't know.
But they're not that
You
similar.
see,
as a
volleyball is very
sport.
popular. See, I'd fit right in.
There you go.
Dude,
See,
table tennis is more.
I
than
love
American
some
football.
table tennis, man.
bro, table tennis is lit.
I'm so bad at table tennis.
I am very good at table tennis. You know what I did? Like, you need good reflexes to be good at table tennis. This weekend, it was my son's first birthday, and of course, you had 30 people in the house because
Happy
it's
birthday.
pouring rain, and there was this giant mosquito eater. Anybody know what a mosquito eater is? They look like giant mosquitoes, but it keeps flying around, and no one can hit this damn thing. I finally walk into the kitchen, and whoo, I just grabbed it with my bare hand. I barehanded it. I felt like Spider-Man. I dressed up like Spider-Man that day. I felt like Spider-Man catching the fly, and I just released it into the world back outside. I didn't kill it or anything like that. And that was my weekend story.
It's an integrity move. I respect that.
So this was October 2020.
Oh, well, that's
Well,
why.
Yeah, it's much more popular now.
Yeah.
That growth in the last 2 years.
A
folks.
year and a half it does a lot. Look at the price of oil.
Right.
Here, March 26th.
Let's not talk about that. Makes me sad.
So soccer is still the first. This is of March 26th. Cricket is still second. Basketball is third. Hockey, tennis, badminton comes into sixth.
Wow. Okay.
Volleyball.
I
table
love
tennis,
badminton. Badminton,
baseball,
table
and
tennis.
rugby. So there's still no American football. American football does not even crack the top 10.
It's really just us.
475.
What is this right now? I thought we were going to talk about rookies.
I thought we were talking about rookies, and Corey's just
Corey's
talking
just
about rookie
talking about
sports.
table tennis. This is Corey's grand plan all along. It took him a year to get us to this point, but he just decided that we're gonna talk.
I mean, if
now.
anybody's watching out there, and I think we have like one guy left or one person, sorry. Sorry, Corey's
It's
YOLO
probably Craig.
motive is just that YOLO.
Right.
Every time he steps on camera, it's not planned, it's not scripted. Along with the show, it is never scripted, it is never planned. We can say whatever we want, respectively, of course.
And watch whatever you want, like table tennis highlights.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like,
what
Wait
is
a minute. So wait, I leave to blow my nose for like 2 seconds, so we become a table tennis show.
Yeah, so guys, my favorite rookie from the 2022
look at these
class-
guys. It's intense, man.
Dude, this is
Look at
wild.
the slam. The slam.
Oh, it's
is
intense.
awesome.
Hey, Herms, have you made it to the table tennis episode of Life in Pieces yet?
I have not, but I'm very much looking forward to it.
Look at that.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh wait,
don't
no,
think I would hit
dude,
it
we
once.
watched
Look
that at
how
your
they
house,
back
man.
up.
Did we watch
Back
it?
up.
Yeah,
They're
we
like
did
10
watch it
feet
at our
away from
house.
the-
It was
from the
hilarious.
table.
All right, is this enough?
Yeah, that's enough. You can kill it now.
No, we can keep going.
Why don't we pull up the chaos rookie draft and mess around with that a little bit and have some fun.
All right, we'll talk
about some rookie
football,
running backs
fine.
while we do that. How about that?
Whatever.
While we eat
Whatever.
our frozen pizzas and burritos.
You guys are
really
still eating.
interesting.
Mine's gone, man.
Oh
It
my!
is
I'm
gone.
an empty plate, man. I let everybody
Yeah,
talk, and I went.
no.
To
I got
town.
one more.
Yep, no, I'm done. Oh boy.
I've had
Someone
guys-
fill the idle time.
Have we talked about the fact that this is our 1 year anniversary?
A little bit. I
1
said it
year
on the opening.
ago, 1 year ago, Corey, Chef, myself, and Jeff sat down and did this show for the first time. Nobody really watched, but here we are a year later. People actually started watching.
Not
We
really.
added our brother Herms. Like this is guys, it's been a year, man. Like that's pretty freaking cool.
Coming off the edge does sound better for a table tennis show. I mean that
It really does.
Shout out to CJ Luke.
Coming
wait
off
to
the
draft
edge of the
Saturday.
tennis table.
But yeah, 1 year, guys. It's been really cool and fun. Shout out to everyone else involved in the process: Cougar, Kluge, Steph, Troy, Juan,
Lots
Johnson,
of fans out
Juan,
there.
Taylor for a minute.
Taylor,
Taylor, and shout out to Mike
Cooter.
too.
Cooter.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. All these dinner parties, having some guests on, playing the Quiplash games.
The
drafting.
best part, I still think, was the first night that I was talking to Corey. And usually when I talk to Corey in DMs, we're talking about, what do you want to do? You talk about a show. And I had a lot of idle time last year before my son was born. And he's like, hang on. And all of a sudden, I'm in a separate group chat. Now, the list of names that he just listed, we are all friends. We are all intertwined as a group. But all of a sudden, I was in a side chat with Jeff, Nate, and Corey. And we just went to town on nostalgic items like video games, your first kiss in high school, down a rabbit hole
I was a junior
of
high.
entertainment
Yep.
delight. And we were like, well, you know what? Why don't we just get on the mic and talk about these things? And that's pretty much how this show started.
Yep. We should do a show. Why
And
don't
our
we do a
friendship
show?
has kept this together, and
Remember.
that's the most important part of this
Aw.
whole thing.
And
Well,
then
that's
I
why-
showed up randomly, and then it was just like, wow.
And Herms just
Whoa.
popped up in the chat one day saying,
Yeah.
hey, guys, I'm here. I'm like, hey,
Hey.
I'm on the show.
Hey.
Hello.
You gotta put the time in there, cuz.
It's just I love these Tuesdays, man, because like we've all gotten pretty close as friends, and this is our time. Like I don't care if anybody watches. I hope you're all watching, but still, like getting to just BS with you guys every week. The platform's always open. Some of us miss weeks. We can't always make it. We have lives. We have kids. We have jobs. But we all make an effort every week, except for
Oh,
Jeff
yeah.
during tax season because
He's excused during tax.
he, oh no, he's 100% excused. That makes
and I'll be excused when mortgage rates go back down. So
yeah, it could be a while, man.
got that
I
right.
Yeah,
thank
let me
you
know.
guys for doing this every week, doing this together. Like, awesome.
I
Well,
love you, man.
that's the
Love
most
you too,
emotions
buddy.
I've gotten out recently, so that's pretty good.
Well, hey,
I feel good.
we're all friends here, man. And we're friends who happen to also all love football. It's what brought us together.
Friends.
And
Friends.
speaking of that, you mentioned our rookie draft. I would zoom in a little bit more, but we're good.
Oh
I
yeah.
guess-
There we go.
It gets cut off.
Now there are special rules to this rookie draft. We cannot pick the same position back to back. So things
Look at
were a little
this.
spread out, and I am regretting
Oh.
all my picks.
And also, we drafted the first 4 rounds before the NFL draft.
Oh yes.
We
that
should
be
mention that immediately because the first pick Juan took Malik Willis. So at the time, of course, was almost consensus depending on how you viewed the first pick.
Man, I
Go
was
away,
trying
Tyler.
so hard to
I
get
don't
back
mean
up
it.
there to get Traylon Burks at the end of the first round. And Steph didn't even check her messages. Taylor went with his OSU guy. And then the moment Herms hit the clock, he said, I'm not even going to look at trade offers. I'm taking Traylon Burks.
Boom.
I mean, this is by far my worst rookie draft of the season.
I did not know
Yeah,
that you
that-
could do this on Sleeper. This is fabulous.
Me either. I'm watching.
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh, hey
Whoa.
now.
Whoa.
Yeah, bro.
This is
Whoa.
incredible.
Hey now.
Sleeper. I know you follow me and the show, and maybe a couple of people here. Let's talk.
This will be my one and only share of Isaiah Spiller. And that's it.
And you got him at the 107.
And
We'll
the
get there.
107.
We'll get
Wow.
there. What position by
That's
position?
rough. That's
You
rough.
know what
there
it
for
was? I
Juan.
was in the middle of doing things, and I was like, all right, well, I know everybody's gonna go, wide receiver for the most part. Then I see the run of a running back, and I'm like, all right, cool, no worries. I'll pick up Sky Moore in the second round, forgetting that I traded my pick away to
Oh,
Troy, and then
no.
Troy traded it
rough.
to Corey, and I got screwed. So who do I have? I have Justin Ross and
No, let's
Tim
go- we'll go-
DSP.
Let's go draft by draft or round or person by person.
All right, go
We're
ahead.
going to start with Herms. Herms has a message in the chat, so we're starting with Herms.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
Yes,
did
we
you
are
play?
starting with.
So, I did stuff. I took players. What players did I take? First, I started with Traylon Burks because I was like, I've talked about it a lot. People
Dude.
like getting really mad about the athletic stuff and the blah, blah. It's like, dude, he was just like a 1-for-1 AJ Brown. And then he became literally a 1-for-1 AJ Brown because the Titans took him and it aged so well. Like, honestly, it felt really good about that. It should be pretty cool. Also, fun fact for redraft, he will be definitely my highest ranked rookie wide receiver.
Well, he'll be plugged in the quickest. That makes sense.
Oh, of course, yeah. And if I had known Matt Corral,
Peak on this one, bro. I mean, that's still fine. Third
Matt
round.
Corral is okay. I think that he is
he'll-
going to be the quarterback there, or at least have a shot at being the quarterback. And where did you get him?
yeah, the
112?
the 112, yeah.
Okay, so that's not so good. But
It
hey,
could be worse, and Pierre Strong ended up, aging a little bit poorly. But I do want to highlight, I've been drafting so much Jalen Tolbert. Dude, honestly, I'm so thrilled about that. And not only because it's like a perfect type situation for him, but I honestly think at this point, he might be a better receiver than Michael Gallup. I don't really care. I don't care how much
Pump
money
the
they're
brakes
paying Michael
there.
Gallup. Dude, Jalen Tolbert's really good.
How do we
It-
get rid of Herms?
it soon, very soon. But I don't know, man. I felt like it went pretty well. And honestly, even the Abram Smith, I think there's a very decent chance he can ascend up that depth chart, considering how bad Tony Jones is and the fact that Mark Ingram's in his 60s. So I mean,
Well,
anything's
you got
possible.
a day two. You got a day 2 wide receiver at 5'11" there too, and don't forget
Exactly.
that.
The
I mean,
fifth round was post draft. We were a little slow.
yeah, we did. We have to work on that next year. We got a little bit slow, and so
That's why
We
there's
were
some
able
good
to-
players here. I went Velus Jones. You went Haskins.
yeah, Haskins at 5'6" was a steal.
Okay, I guess all right. Who wants next then? Sorry, Chef. I didn't mean to cut you off earlier. I thought we were gonna go from the first
This is where I
to
depart.
the 12th.
that's
But
okay.
Love you,
Herms
Herms.
has got to step out. So peace out, Herms.
Adios.
We
Happy
love you,
Adios,
brother.
buddy.
Woohoo! Yeah.
And with that, you can jump on my terrible draft
Wait, why did
of
Herms leave?
Isaiah Spiller.
He has another
I-
show. He
has another show. We're busy, man.
Oh my god,
man.
I'm an idiot. I missed that entire point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was too
We have
busy,
a private
I was
chat.
too busy
so you can
watching
talk
table
over the
tennis.
show.
He had to go leave for his table tennis show.
Yeah, dude, my bad. I was watching table. All right,
So Watt
sorry.
had a bad draft because he took Malik Willis at the 101. That really hurts. Zamir White at the 212. I mean, that's okay. But
That's
David
all
Bell,
right.
David Bell at 3-1's fine.
But don't forget the rule: we can't take back-to-back positions. So going quarterback,
Yes.
he went running back. This was pre-draft again for anyone who's tuning in now. David Bell at the 3-1, solid, right?
Yeah, I think so. There's not too many possibilities of him not being utilized as a fantasy wide receiver in the near future. Whether or not you're gonna have to wait for Deshaun Watson to come back from suspension will dictate whether or not he is viable early on, I think.
Yeah.
Well, and wide receiver is going to be the big impact position on that rule, and not back to back, because especially this class, there's more wide receivers, and so that's going to push some guys down the board.
Yeah, you can't go by draft spot here. I mean, we drafted basically off of the way of talent, what we liked about the player, and I did not like Isaiah Spiller, but I don't know why I picked Isaiah Spiller. Maybe
let
just
everyone
to have a
Redraft
shot at
running back
Isaiah
3.
Spiller.
Hold on, just so everyone knows, I put the ticker there, drafted
There we go.
pre-draft. So whoever tunes in, when you see like these picks, there's special rules. We drafted pre-draft. I should add that with special rules.
Special rules.
'Cause they'll
Special.
screen grab it and be like, "Look at these idiots." They
Oh,
think-
Right.
Special.
Mm.
Aren't we special?
If you're not familiar with the Chaos League and you think we're idiots, you need to pay attention to the Chaos League. These are the kinds of things that make fantasy football fun. Crazy leagues with crazy rules.
And that's funny that we talk about Isaiah Spiller. Now, pre-combine, he was the 103 or the RB3 in this class, and he has easily moved down. DLF has him at RB6, right ahead of Zamir White, Brian Robinson, behind Dameon Pierce. Now, personally, I would rather have Dameon Pierce. What are your takes on that, guys?
Yes. A guy
have
with
this-
a clear shot to be a major factor in an offense is cool to Spiller, who they get a nice 125 touches, a lot of rushes, a couple of receptions, but obviously second fiddle in the running back room and maybe fourth or fifth fiddle in the actual offense.
And I've heard a lot about Isaiah Spiller going back and forth, whether he's going to be he's going to be the backup guy for Austin Eckler, or is he really just the RB2 in that situation? He's better than Josh Kelly.
I would hope, yeah.
Is what's his face still there too? What's
Larry
the other-
Roundtree.
Justin
Larry
Jackson's
Roundtree.
gone,
Justin
right?
Jackson is gone.
Yeah, no, he's
Justin
gone.
Jackson's gone.
Larry
So I think Isaiah Spiller can beat out Roundtree
For
and
sure.
Josh Kelly. So
They've
that's
been
not that
looking-
bad.
Oh,
of a
easy.
pick.
They've
in
been wanting
in a
that.
fast, high-paced offense like San Diego, LA Chargers.
That's 3 straight drafts of taking that like 4th round running back. Roundtree, was it Roundtree Kelly or Kelly Roundtree?
He was
Kelly
Roundtree was a
Roundtree.
6th round pick. Kelly was a
I don't
4th
know the
round pick.
facts.
That's
I
what I
don't
was
know the
going
facts. Justin Jackson was a 6th round, no?
So he might
It's
have been.
new
under-
management. It's new coaching.
They've
it's
been
a
looking
whole
for that
new
running
team.
back though.
They have been, but I mean, if something happens to Austin Eckler, Isaiah Spiller's value is so much higher than Dameon Pierce's is, and he could swing leagues. Spiller could swing leagues, and he's young. You know, he's 20 years old. I think that I understand the pushback that. But I don't know. People need to recognize that all these day 3 guys, you're getting situational guys who you hope could end up more. And I think I'm a little bit worried where people are treating Dameon Pierce right now. I understand the logic behind it, but man, I think that's writing off. Rex Burkhead was good last year, and Rex Burkhead could easily be the Austin Eckler in that offense and leave Dameon Pierce in a similar role as Isaiah Spiller in a lower volume offense and a less efficient offense. And so, I mean, you could straight get more value there. And I just look at Michael Carter too. And that situation has me spooked on investing really anything on these day 3 running backs that, you know, if a guy hits, trade him. And I think that's I'm going to look at that way with all of them, because I can tell you right now, there's 5 guys at least in the 23 class that would probably be the running back 2 or the running back 3 in this class.
Yeah, I can jump in on that. It's the same thing like a Khalil Herbert drafted in the 6th round last year, and someone offered me a 3rd. I said, okay, no problem. They're like, what do you want for Khalil Herbert? Give me a 3rd round pick. I don't care. Like, I'd rather have the 3rd round pick since I took him in the 6th. I don't care.
Well, and again, like with a guy like Herbert, he's still behind David Montgomery. Did
Correct.
we see some really solid upside from him last year? Yes. But again, is
Do
he
we
going to
know that the
overtake?
Bears
Is he going to
are
overtake David
years
Montgomery?
away?
Oh, they're years away. Could Khalil Herbert be a little bit more of a part of the passing offense out of the backfield in Chicago? Maybe. But can you bank on that? Not really.
I mean, the highest upside he has is, oh man, my mind is all over the place. I'm just excited to be here. Who's the backup for the Cowboys? Jesus, I can't.
Tony
even-
Pollard.
I think that's his ceiling.
He
I
won't
think
get
that's
Well, but
Herbert's
Tony
ceiling.
Pollard's ceiling, like if we're talking about what we think he might do in 2022.
No. Tony Pollard's floor is probably Khalil Herbert's ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yes.
Nate, your team here drafting the 1.02 pre-draft with special rules. Can't pick back-to-back players.
You had a
Garrett
pretty
Wilson.
good first 2 rounds.
I
Dude,
feel
he
good,
was
dude.
earned.
I don't love the Carson Strong pick, but I don't hate the Carson Strong pick from the perspective that I don't know that Jalen Hurts is going to make it through the season as the starter in Philly.
Oh, he is.
We'll see. He could. I don't know that he necessarily will. It's a gut feeling I have. But otherwise, that's really the only pick I don't like in this draft. Like, get Ruckert in New York with the Jets. I think he's going to see immediate volume in that offense. I love Jerry Ely. I think there's a good chance that he could see some significant volume in the Kansas City offense because of the role he plays. He's that like really solid slot pass catching back. He's quick. He's not Tyreek Hill. I love this. I love what I got, and I love where I got it. Jeff, what do you think about the James Cook pick? Where are you on? I want to know where you're at on James Cook.
I think it's a really
Yeah.
good pick. I'm more optimistic than most just because I think that I don't know. A lot of the things I see, like people quote that the Bills don't use running backs in the passing game. Well, they have a new offensive coordinator. And I think that what people fail to realize, and something that drives me absolutely crazy, is that when people don't recognize a new coach, new offensive coordinator, things are going to change. Or if teams make additions, the players that fill roles that they don't previously have, things are going to change. Like I saw today, somebody's talking about, well, Christian McCaffrey still has the highest upside of any running back, but they added Donta Foreman, and Donta Foreman was really good last year. And Donta Foreman does something very different than Christian McCaffrey. So they bring Donta Foreman in as early down potentially or as goal line work. And if he chips away at that, that changes. And I think that people fail to realize that things change and that
Right.
one year to the next. And so, yes, the Bills traditionally didn't use a passing running back because they had Devin Singletary who would drop the ball whenever they tried to use him, or they had
Thank
Zach
you.
Moss who couldn't shake anybody. And then they go out and draft the best pass catching back in this draft in the 2nd round. The Bills are going to throw to the running back.
A lot.
That offense is going to be up tempo. They're going to do different scheme packages. They're going to spread people out because they use one of the highest concentrations of 4 wide receiver sets. They're going to force people to defend the box of Josh Allen, and then they're going to have James Cook in there to bust the seam and break off a 75-yard run. And I don't know. Yes, James Cook is probably never going to be a 20 touch per game back, but Alvin Kamara has
Doesn't
done
need
pretty
to be.
well as a pass catching back in fantasy football. And if
Yep.
you're playing in PPR, then you need to be valuing and recognizing James Cook.
Well, here's the thing that was so telling to me. It was when Buffalo tried to get J.D. McKissick.
Yeah.
They did get
And with
J.D.
that-
McKissick.
They
Who's
got him,
good.
and then they didn't have him anymore.
Right.
So instead, they got James Cook. And James Cook does everything that J.D. McKissick does. But he's
Absolutely.
younger. He's fresher legged. He doesn't have as much wear and tear on him from college because his first 3 seasons, he was like
Even his
barely the
small
second
forward.
best back on the team. He only started 3 games technically at Georgia last season. So I don't see any reason why he can't be one of the top rookie backs in this class.
But
Yeah.
people have this idea in their mind that to be a running back 1, you need to have 25 points per game. And people don't recognize that
No.
if you're cranking out 14, 15 points per game, you're a running back one. You are right on the threshold as RB1 status. So 15 points per game. Let's walk it back. Occasional touchdowns. He catches 5 or 6 balls a game. That's 5 points. We pick up 60 yards rushing and receiving. I mean, there's 12 points, occasional touchdowns, split that in half, 15 points right away.
Yep. Easy.
I'd be happy with 15 points from James Cook.
I'd be happy with
15 points for my running back 2 spot in every single. If you just told me my RB2 spot in every single league that I have, I can have 15 points out of, I would take that to the bank. Like, I wouldn't even think twice about it.
Oh, this is nice. Look at this.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Nice. Keep commenting.
Hey, now.
I got James Cook at like James White ceiling.
I like
which
it
is
higher.
cool.
Put it higher. Put it back up by the draft.
Well, we need a
Did
comment.
James White not flirt with being a running back 1 a couple years ago?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that's where I have his ceiling. Like that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler's right. I think that we see a lot of Marlon Mack in Houston
right.
as well.
But they're
All
gonna try. But...
What about another controversial pick?
Oh.
Go back to my roster. Tyrion Davis-Price.
I mean, everybody assumes Elijah Mitchell's gonna be the guy, but what has Shanahan ever done to tell you that Elijah Mitchell is definitely gonna be the guy?
A lot.
Once again, this
Nothing.
is my only share of
done a
Tyrion
lot.
Davis-Price.
He's done a lot.
Well,
called
and this
Chaos
goes to
League
that
for a
point,
reason.
kind of the Christian McCaffrey, Donta Foreman point. When I see a team bring in a back that's very diversely different than the back that they currently have on their roster, that tells me they want to do something different. And when Tyrion Davis-Price is nearly 40 pounds heavier than Elijah Mitchell, that tells me that they want to have a diverse run game. That essentially Trey Sermon was the bust last year. They hit reset on that. They brought in the big back that he was supposed to be. So they want to have him as a bruiser between the tackles, or
Goal line.
they want to have a game script dependent running game that kind of features attacking the opponent's weaknesses. And the downside in that, we might be in situations where we don't even know if we can start Tyrion Davis-Price or Elijah Mitchell, and you're just starting one or either depending on your roster situation, and you're praying that they're going to be the guy that game.
No, I agree.
Yep.
The Shanahan came out last year and said he wanted to run the ball 600 times. I mean, they pretty much did that. Well, no, 500 times. They ran the ball 499 attempts.
Not 500.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to see that Tyrion Davis-Price gets involved in some fashion where his value actually increases for next season due to the high likelihood of an injury because of the overusage of those running backs in San Francisco. I mean, it just makes sense. Go out and get Tyrion Davis-Price on the cheap because I know his stock has been rising.
And he'll be in Miami in 3 seasons.
Well, that seems to be the trend.
I like that.
Oh,
Are you guys
then
ready?
we could talk about
Not me.
another guy that went to Miami, Sony Michel. Now we have Kyron Williams, right? Who's got?
Rams.
He's an LAR, bro.
Yeah, he went to LAR. Exactly. So here's a guy that totally flopped at the combine, who has risen now because of the draft spot, and he was drafted based on his pass catching ability and his ableness to get out on the edge and take off downfield, not to run in between the tackles, not to deal with the big offensive line or defensive pressures. He is a pass catching running back, just like James Cook.
Right, but he ain't making the edge though. He's too slow for that.
Right.
I beg to
He was
differ. I
fifth
think
round.
his game speed
Beg to
is a lot
differ.
better than what he ran at the combine.
We're gonna disagree on that one, Chef.
Yeah, bro,
yeah.
dude. He's
You know,
shifty. I'll give you shifty. He's smart. He's intelligent. He ain't hitting the
Every
edge.
single
on your
highlight
NFL
is
team.
basically like the safety was in the wrong spot against Air
No.
Force. He broke off a 60-yard run because
No.
some dude
Against Air
safety
Force.
and the armed service is
No.
just missed a
All right.
lane.
I still have love for Kyron Williams.
You
Okay.
can still love him.
Oh,
He's
it's
just not
bad.
going to get the edge, man. It's not going to happen.
Corey had a very good draft here, or that's Troy had a very that's Corey, yeah.
That's me, bro. Yeah. Drake
Well, I
London.
mean, other than the part where you sold Brees Hall for Magic Beans, but other than that part, you
I
had a good
like-
draft.
getting what I have. I like getting London and Sky Moore for Brees Hall, I guess. I got
I would do
RB1.
that.
Guy
Josh
Moore,
Jacobs.
yeah, okay.
No, I was happy. Due to our rules in the league, I knew I was going to get Sky Moore or Trey McBride, so that's why I was happy with that. This gives me an abundance of wide receivers. You know, Herms has been looking to trade a quarterback. I got some receivers and tight ends. So I have a lot of flexibility for the running back. Jeff, you kind of changed my mind a lot on the running back thing. I forgot what you said about how you play the season in like 4 games or whatever, but that really has stuck home with me. So the trade, I knew I was going to get Sky Moore or McBride. It just fell on what Jeff was going to do because due to our rules, I knew the only questionable thing was Cooter with Howell, as Dave is a huge Pickens fan. So I knew he was going to take more. And if he took more and you took McBride, I was getting Pickens. So that's cool. But
Man, it
again,
sounds like you prepped for the draft.
Right?
I'm out here, man.
Corey's out here playing chess, and the rest of us are just like, I'm gonna pick this dude. Oh, I can't pick that
I'm playing
position. Okay.
jacks. I don't.
But I got the quarterback 4
Tiddlywinks.
of the draft and got the quarterback 1 of the NFL draft, which is pretty cool. Kenny Pickett at 2.03. Again, this was pre-draft with special rules.
Well, you needed a quarterback too.
I do. I only have 1 right now in our 2 Superflex league. I knew Ritter was going to go soon because of you or Steph. The love for that. I was happy.
I'm so regretting my pick.
But like pre-draft, man, you didn't know, bro. And
No,
maybe you were
I
like-
should have just went with Ritter. He was my guy. He's always been my guy.
But like maybe you were like, oh, I take a running back, I can't take a receiver the next pick, or you know what I mean? Like our rule, you can't take.
I totally forgot that I didn't have a second round pick. That's what
Oh.
screwed me up.
I have like 1% regret on mine because I don't know. I took Trey McBride when I could have had one of these wide receivers. But you got to mention too that it's 2 tight end leagues. So.
league. Like
It's
I
two
would.
tight
also
end,
have-
2 super flex. It's stacked. I
That's
needed
why I knew it
quarterback.
was
I
good
didn't
over
do
here.
quarterback. I have to leg up with Prescott, Darnold, and Jones. Again,
Corey,
Speaking
I'm
of
I'm all the way in the champion spot. If you want to see who I drafted,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
yeah.
trade Jamar Chase. in
We're
this
going
league.
through here. Taking mode. Hall.
Troy did well.
Robinson was nice. Mechie was nice. Ty Chandler. Tyquan Thornton at 4.12, second round pick. Picked 50 to the Patriots. Solid value.
Yeah, I don't trust Baylor wide receivers.
Cole Turner. Shout out
Ever
to
again.
oh my God, what's it? Corey Coleman. And then
Corey Coleman,
Snoop Conner.
Denzel Mims, now Tyquan.
Oh, yeah.
Thornton. All right.
Kluge
thank you.
Pickens, Jerome Ford to the Browns. Maybe the Browns move on Hunt. Who knows?
I've been seeing news that might happen.
Money, Wandale, huge pick right here for him. 43rd overall NFL
we
pick.
tried
and
to
then
take him
Isaiah-
in the second round, and we had to pull that one back.
And then
that
this
was
is
a
a nice
snipe
intriguing
on-
pick as well.
Isaiah Pacheco.
Cooter, pretty solid. Howell, Kyron Williams, as we just talked about, and Khalil Shakur to your Bills in the 4th
That's
round
right.
to play a nice slot role there. And then here's Chef's pick, which we covered earlier. Hopefully, Justin Ross actually has something. That one,
I think he does. I think
he
does.
might. I think as long as he's not timid when he's
He
on the
passed
field.
his physical.
They'll ease him
Well,
in,
no, I
though.
know, sure, but with that kind of injury, the first couple times you're out on the field, aren't you going to be a little timid?
But he just played in the NFL.
I think it's going to be a major success and miracle if he plays an NFL down. To be honest with you, he wasn't
Hey.
good. Like he had a year off, and he wasn't good last year. He was really good 3 years ago. And he was an undrafted free agent. And I know there were medical concerns around that, but I think this is the case where he makes the roster and plays it down. It's a huge win.
Maybe they just picked him
Agreed,
up for
Jeff.
special teams. Who knows?
I surely hope they do not put him as a gunner on special teams.
No,
Oh, dude, no, that would be horrible.
no, he'll probably be practice squad protected if they still have that
Yeah.
going. Maybe he does well again, like Jeff, you're alluding to. If the Devy guy 3 years ago, he looked awesome. Him and T Higgins made Trevor Lawrence. But yeah, Jack Cohn.
Yes, Tyler.
That's
I
gonna
picked Jack Cohn just for Doug's sake.
Dude, quarterbacks, you never know what happened. Davis Mills, I was like anti-drafting Davis Mills because I thought he just had like no chance. But like, you take the shot on the quarterbacks.
Why
There-
not? I mean,
there's
You never know.
Matt
there's
I
Ryan's
not
said
going to
gonna
be
be
Davis
done
Mills in
in a
the
year.
3rd round last year, so
yeah,
that
and
played out
the
pretty
three
well.
third down quarterbacks: Ritter, Howell, and Willis. Right?
Yeah.
Coral and Willis. Sorry, Coral.
I love
Always get
Howell's
them mixed
value
up.
still.
But
regular
here's
rookie
Johnson.
drafts.
Congrats on the marriage. He went Rashad White, Christian
Wants to be a
Watson.
starter. Good
This
luck,
is solid
Rashad.
3, but I mean a little bit of reach on Rashad White pre-draft. No,
Yes.
Yeah,
Pre-draft,
definitely.
absolutely.
It was, but I mean, if you were to flip Rashad White and Pat and Watson, I feel like it wouldn't be wild.
To
But
be fair, maybe
Nope.
yeah,
John
some of
was
the other
thinking
guys on the
like,
board. Yeah, I don't
if you
really
took
know
a
what's
wide
going on
receiver
with
in the
Trey
first
Lance
round,
in
you
the
kind of
draft.
sucked yourself over in the second, no?
He probably should have went like.
How did that? How did you take Isaiah Spiller over Treylon Burks?
I don't know.
Taylor's team here. Olave, Pierce.
A lot of people
Pierce.
took.
Yeah, we all have a lot on our
Treylon
plate.
Burks.
We all have a lot on our plate. It happens.
Yeah, we're busy.
Shout out to Carrots, Taylor Cornell here. Who Den? Olave.
I mean,
Pierce,
I have a lot
Yeah,
of
that's a
receivers
good
on my
draft
team
right
already,
there.
Jeff.
Steph.
Yeah.
What I
Stevenson,
don't have is a
Salad,
lot of running back.
Ritter, Dulcich, Calvin
Fair.
Austin. There was a lot of hype about him going in the second, but he ends up to the fourth to the Steelers, who have two receivers. Does that mean they're going to move on from Claypool or Johnson because they just took two receivers? Second,
And I was
and
No,
hoping that Spiller
no
actually
way.
had a great landing spot, like somewhere that he would get
we're done with
utilized right
Spiller,
away.
man.
I wish Herms was here to talk about that one.
Tyler
Well,
Batty.
I think there's a chance that they move on from Deontay Johnson because I don't know that they're going to want to. I don't know. I don't know how that team's going to be built. I really don't because
He's going to make or break here, right? Last year of his contract.
last year's contract, so he's going to hit free agency. So
I've heard that
I
they
don't
may
see
trade
him.
him.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like play him out this year. Him and Claypool are both on the bubble.
And we already went through Herm's team, so here we are with Jeff. Your picks here. You went Jameson Williams, Kenneth Walker, McBride, and then Haskins.
Those are pretty good picks, Jeff.
Yeah. I took McBride thinking that I didn't have I don't know. I didn't have a third tight end, and I should have taken.
You had your eyes set on McBride. That's what it was.
And this
Well,
is
I think that he's a little bit more valuable in this format than in a traditional format. So it's tight end premium,
sure.
start two tight end. Just the big thing is I have Kyle Pitts and I have the dude Mark Andrews. So
Well,
it's
I
not
don't
like
see
I'm gonna be playing
McBride actually getting some
McBride
starting
Johnson.
time anytime soon. Maybe next
Well, I
year.
can,
next year.
I can
You
afford
know,
it.
Probably
I'm
next year.
hiding behind Ertz for at least this
Yeah,
season.
Jeff's fine. He could for sure afford that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
everything.
that was the draft. That was great.
Here's
It
the
was.
draft, pre-draft, besides the fifth round, but you did take Haskins, who is this guy going to take over for Henry like next year, maybe?
Certainly
Possible.
a handcuff, but I wonder about the Titans because it did seem like I was on a show with somebody else and we were talking about how they went into the draft as the number one seed in the AFC and home field last year, and then they came out of the draft feeling like a rebuilding team. And with some of the moves, moving AJ Brown and the move to take Malik Willis, and that opens up questions with Ryan Tannehill's contract. And so if things are to fall apart, I wonder if they could explore a trade of Derrick Henry like at the deadline, or
I wouldn't be shocked.
go in a different direction, save that money, and if they could feel like they need to do a
well,
reset.
They've got the pieces to do it.
I think it all depends on how some of these players work out in preseason, how much they really
Sure.
show, how much they get of the playbook, and the speed of the NFL. Only time will tell. And hey, we all have rookie fever. We've all been drafting for about 2 weeks now. Now my eyes are set for the future. Like, when is preseason starting? Who's on Hard Knocks this year? Can't wait for that. I'm
Lions.
definitely going to be having my eyes on training camps. Those are the big things. And obviously I'm going to keep my eye out on some of these players like James Cook, like Kyron Williams, see how they fill in those roles, see how the team plays
Kenneth
around it.
Walker. Kenneth
Kenneth
Walker's
Walker's
a big one I want to watch.
he's a big question mark. And he's not really the question mark. The real question mark is Chris Carson. Does Chris Carson
I think
play?
they're good. No,
Does
I think
Rashad
they're-
Penny? I mean, we saw what Rashad Penny can do, but that was with Russell Wilson at the helm. They have big problems in Seattle.
But don't forget, guys.
Oh,
What
Baker's
if Drew
going to
Lock is
Seattle?
good? What if
Lock is
Drew Lock
terrible.
is good in Seattle?
No,
Just
Drew
what
Lock
if-
is terrible. If Drew Lock wasn't good in Denver, he's not going to be good in Seattle. That's what it is.
Dude, okay. I will say this about Drew Lock to give him a little bit of credit.
Ugh.
Vic Fangio hated his guts, and Pat Shurmur, the way that he game planned for Lock made no sense. Didn't play to his skill set. Shurmur could have played to his skill set
What's
and
his
didn't.
skill set?
His skill set is being
Throw
a guy
the ball
who
and say a prayer?
he's smarter and he makes better decisions outside of the pocket. He's not a guy who's comfortable sitting in the pocket. You let him roam, you let him move, get around, get outside. Locke made better decisions every time that happened. I'm not saying that that's necessarily sustainable or it will be different in Seattle, but I'm just telling you, you didn't see the whole story on Locke
I want to
In
bet. I want to
Denver.
vet something. And obviously, for those of you that are watching, we do not use a show sheet here, but I want to see how many sacks.
Touchdown.
How many sacks Russell Wilson sustained?
It was a lot.
We
He's
don't- we're
got
done
to
with
be
the Drew
up
Lock
there.
highlights after
33 times. He got sacked 33 times. You're going
Well,
to
see,
tell
who-
me that Drew
Not
Lock
that
is going
much.
to do what?
They took 2 tackles though in the draft. They took Charles Cross in the first round. then
Yeah,
they took
they've
Anthony
improved their
Davis,
offensive
third
line.
round.
Guaranteed Geno Smith beats out
I
Lock.
think Geno's going to play too. I really do.
He might.
He
So Geno Smith should not be on your waiver wire, people. If you're
no,
playing,
I
in
just
a
snooped
No.
him in a league, and it's just amazing. Like the coach loves him, absolutely adores Geno Smith. Geno Smith gets the playbook. He's not good at running it, but he gets it, and he's a team player. And all teams love their backup quarterback, and that's what Geno Smith is. He's a bad backup quarterback that knows the playbook and knows everybody. I don't think Drew Lock succeeds. I think it was just a little bit of compensation from Denver to get the deal done.
I think it was not even. I don't even think it was that. I think it was. We know that this guy's going to be a problem on our roster if we bring Russell Wilson in, and we don't know if we can trade him to anybody else. So you're going to take him in the deal, so he's just out of our building. Like I think that's really what it was. And I don't know. I've heard some people say that they liked him, but I think that's one of those you don't say. Well, we didn't want this guy. We had to take him in the trade. I mean,
Right.
of course, you're going to say that, but I really think that, I don't think they wanted him in the building anymore. And I think that they were worried about that going wrong. And, we see they can't trade Jimmy Garoppolo out of San Francisco. They can't trade Baker Mayfield. And that was getting him off the books in a trade and get him out the door.
So you don't have to pay him.
So here's
You
the
don't have
sack.
to pay him and you're not worried about it.
Burrow took the most at 51st. Bengals did a lot of stuff. Wilson was here, right
Middle
there,
of the
kind
pack.
middle.
Okay. And then you add on the 13 sacks that Geno instilled in the 2 games that he played.
Right, but a lot of sacks
3
around the
games.
quarterback too, not necessarily the line.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I never saw Drew Lock actually scramble out and take over in Denver. He got hit a lot and he made a lot of mistakes. I'm afraid for DK
when he was-
Metcalf's value. I don't care about
Yeah.
Tyler Lockett because he's dust, in my opinion. He's old.
Are we
Okay.
sharing our rookies, like who we have on our roster? I thought we were going to do that. I shared
we're
mine.
Well, we could do Jeff's then, since he wants to.
I don't know.
What?
I thought we were going to do that. Share our rostership of our rookies
Oh,
that we've
I
had.
have
in
like a
our
lot of drafts
Yeah,
that
let's
are
do it.
not done.
They're fun.
Jeff, what's
I-
your who gave all told?
I shared it. My screen is in the. You should be able to see it on like that.
Oh, my fault. I didn't know you did that. Oh yeah, cool. Here's Jeff. Do what you will.
That's what I got.
Keontae Ingram, huh?
Apparently, I didn't realize I had so much Keontae Ingram until I just did this.
And a lot of Isaiah Pacheco.
A lot of Isaiah Pacheco. I like that free.
Hey, Tyrion Davis Price. Okay, now I don't feel so bad.
I have a lot of
It's a good
Tyrion Davis
pick, man.
Price.
Jeff, how many leagues are you in?
Well, do the
Whatever
math here.
27.27% is and he has 6 share
Oh my God.
Deontay Ingram. So we're talking about like what, 32 leagues?
No, I think that's more like 20 or so. I don't know. Maybe
6 divided by
24.
20 is
It's like
3.
20
Okay.
It's like 23
6
leagues.
divided by 25, 24. 6 divided by 33 or 6. What did you say? 24?
I said it
No.
was like 23 leagues.
something like.
No, 23 point.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's about that. Yeah. Nice
Yeah,
math.
23 leagues.
I don't even want to know.
Off the top of my head. All right, plug
And
me
these are
in there.
sleeper
Plug me in
leagues.
there.
How many football or what is it? MFL leagues you got?
A lot of MFL leagues.
No
'Cause
comment.
Here's my leagues. Yeah, there's my leagues. So I didn't even. We haven't
Oh,
like
you used the
picked.
MFL.
We
All
haven't done our draft yet. Kitchen sink. I don't have any rookies because I didn't messed up the dispersal in that. So yeah, so that's my leagues. But I have a lot of Keontae Ingram. Apparently, I didn't even realize. But I don't know. Here we go.
Nate got his. Are you still working?
No, there we go. That's what we got.
Jeremy Ruckert, big Jets fan.
Well, I just like Jeremy Ruckert and Cook. I've only done a handful of drafts. This is gonna get
Yeah,
much more
me too.
spread out soon, but
All right, hold on, keep talking.
mean-
Fill this idle void. I'm trying to find mine.
I'm not sure how I ended up with Bailey Zapp. I don't remember that pick. I'm excited about having Mechie, though. I think he could have a decent time in Houston. Trey McBride, we talked about him. I think Sam Howell or Matt Corral might be the starter in Carolina, though. Like, I might get some good value. I don't even know what league I have him in here. We'll
That's the real sign, not knowing like where you have guys.
He's in my Devy league, so I drafted him last year.
There you go.
Shout out Jeff. Devy Royale. Shout out Devy Royale.
That's right. Yeah,
Right,
that's
my only subscription.
And here's
Oh,
I
mine.
appreciate that, Nate.
I
And
got
I
Olave,
know Corey is a
Dulcich.
Olave guy.
Olave, Dulcich, and Moore are my most, and then I got something. I wish I had more McBride, but it is what it is.
You were hating on me for Dulcich yesterday. I got him in the mid-4th yesterday, and you were saying, "Oh, I'll be Albert O." And here you are.
It was
Corey.
not discussed on if your value was good, more so if Dulcich will be a factor. I mean,
I don't know that.
Oh,
I love the guy's talent, but here's the thing: is he gonna be a thing?
I like him.
He probably will be. I love Alberto, so I don't want to see anyone ding his value, but Dulcich is still pretty talented.
I love the talent of Dulcich, but the landing spot just stunk, man. I was hoping
Not
that
really.
But,
Dude,
like,
what if
he
Hackett,
Albert O.
better than Albert O.
The coach likes this.
He is.
Better than Albert O.
That's true. Hackett likes 12 personnel.
So if he wins, then he wins. Like, good for him. It's not a bad landing spot. It just sucks that it is behind quote unquote Albert O.
But that wouldn't be the first time where we've thought, well, one guy is sure to take over and then the other guy takes over. I mean, that kind of happens more than we want to admit.
Over Jarwin.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Tyler's bringing up Albert O is injured quite often. So, I mean, I don't know. I almost think Dulcich is a more natural receiver than Albert O is. I think Albert O is a little bit more a natural tight end, whereas Dulcich is a little bit more of that receiver, that move tight end type player.
I like it, man. It does suck because it is crowded, but if he wins, he wins for sure.
We had a conversation in the other chat about taking Kenny Pickett at number 2. Nate, did you do that? Did you pull the trigger on that?
No.
No. You went running back instead?
That wasn't me.
Oh, who was it? Was it
Herms? It was
probably
Herms.
was Herms, dude.
And I'm guessing that Herms probably did pull the trigger on that. Would just be my
We
guess.
can look up his
I
team.
feel bad for Herms. So Herms and I are in one league, and we did a trade. It was like a week or so ago, and our rookie drafts started this past weekend. And I gave him Mitch Trubisky, and I had the 109, and he had the 108, thinking it was basically unspoken. I'm not going to take Kenny Pickett if he's there. Here's Mitch. So you have Mitch, you get Kenny Pickett, and then Kenny Pickett went 6, and so I got Jameson Williams at the 108, and he got I believe he ended up with Olave. He didn't end up with Kenny Pickett.
Olave is not a bad pick, though.
I'm looking up.
I have a lot of Jameson Williams. I just realized it was kind of because I had all my
Williams.
safe league drafts have gone off, and I've gotten him in the 107 spot a lot.
This is Herm's team. I don't know which leagues he has drafted or not, but this is who he has the most of. So Tolbert, Coral, and Pierre. So he's a man of his word too. He does like Pierre. Again, I don't know how many of his teams have drafted, so don't look at the percentage, but
right.
He is a big running back guy, and he had his sleepers and Strong and Harris for sure.
And I mean, it also matters about where you were picking.
Yes, that's a very good point.
I see a lot of Sky Moore later in the first. Now he's starting to creep up. Some guys are actually having 5th wide receiver 5.
Don't do that.
Which I don't mind. Whoa, Nate. Sky Moore was my guy. Right.
I like Sky Moore coming into the draft. I don't like his landing spot. Everyone keeps comparing him to Tyreek Hill.
I'm not comparing him to Tyreek Hill. He's not Tyreek Hill. He could be Stephon Diggs, though.
No, I'm out on Sky Moore, man.
He could play a similar role that Stephon Diggs played in Minnesota.
He could
start out in the slot and then wound up going wide. And if that's what they do, if they actually get 2 wide receivers, Juju Smith-Schuster and Sky Moore to run on the outsides, they are going to make things happen with Patrick Mahomes.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But Kansas City has run an offense since Andy Reid has been there that features Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. And that is what this team is going to do. They're going to find one wide receiver. It's going to be Juju this year. Maybe it's Sky Moore next
Not
year.
guaranteed.
But probably not.
That Juju thing is not
Sky
guaranteed.
Moore is Byron Pringle.
Whoa.
So if you were high on Byron Pringle and you think that Byron Pringle was going to explode,
Whoa.
Sky Moore's Byron Pringle, dude. I'm sorry. That's just who he is.
I mean,
that's who
Pringle
he is
did
on this
get
team.
popped. He popped. He's in jail or got arrested.
Well,
one of the two. But
I just think that the way you play Dynasty, where Sky Moore's value is right now, he's essentially in Dynasty ranks. He's valued at near his ceiling, and this was a later second round pick. And so, if you're able to move that into a more, buy the or sell the excitement about Sky Moore's landing spot, and I think that cooler heads are starting to prevail a little bit, I believe, because as I've gotten into like league safe and things like that, the safe leagues that I do, I'm in like a handful of those, and he's going a little bit later than our Twitter bubble that we kind of live in a little bit, the dynasty bubble there. And so I think that outside it's a little bit cooler than maybe we realize, like the debate between Chris Olave and Sky Moore. I don't think that's a real debate anywhere outside of.
I think Chris Olave is ready to go. He is ready to play.
Chris Olave,
that's not a debate outside of a little pocket of Twitter that's really, really loud about that. And I think that we have a bad job of recognizing that. But if you're kind of operating in that pocket in one of those leagues and people think that way, then you should be moving off Sky Moore for a more stable, developed asset. Like if you are able to use Sky Moore and something else to move into T. Higgins, if somebody believes that he's not going to be like a wide receiver one, so to say, or other players like that, safer player like
Gabe
that, or
Davis or Sky
go older.
Sky Moore.
Neither.
Sky Moore.
I quit playing fantasy football. I'm done.
Oh,
my teams.
Nate's done. I made him quit. Rage quit.
You did it. You made me quit.
Yeah.
Tyler's
I
exactly right. MVS is going to be a factor, and MVS is going to get targets.
He will be. Seth is throwing up in his mouth if he's watching.
And then he's going to drop targets. He's going to drop some targets.
Well, probably.
Going to be in
and that's the other thing. Noah Gray is going to drive us all easy or crazy because he's going to be Noah Gray is going to
be in and he's going to be out. He's going to be in and he's going to be out.
He'll catch 13 balls, 8 touchdowns, and we're just going
to. And Tyler likes Davis over Sky Moore, which is interesting.
I would probably I cannot get on board with Gabe Davis. I can't do it.
But
those are the players that you're out on. You're out on Sky Moore. You're out on Gabe Davis, and a lot of people were out on Gabe Davis before Gabe Davis was actually something. Before the end of last season, when he went off and scored 2 games back to back, 2 touchdowns, and really popped, everybody was off on Davis. He was always a question mark.
Well,
so
Chef,
the real
you and I talked about
scouted him, like myself.
You and me, you and I,
that he's going to be a wide receiver too this year. He's going to be one of those 40.
No way.
No.
One of those 40 wide receiver twos. Okay, you put it that way.
I'm telling you right now, he's Hollywood Brown. Because going into 2020, we were all convinced Hollywood Brown was going to take off and be a wide receiver 1, and he was terrible for the first 8 games. And then everybody wrote him off and said, this guy's terrible. He'll never be anything for fantasy. Then the second half of the year, he dominated. And then last summer, through all last offseason, everybody said, well, he's terrible. He was bad the first 8 games when I was actually paying attention. And the 8 games that I wasn't paying attention anymore, I didn't even realize he was good at the second half of the year. And I think the exact same things happened with Gabe Davis. And there's prime. There's so much clearance for him to take off in that Buffalo offense. They brought in nobody to threaten him. They brought in another tight end so they could play 12 personnel. They brought in 2 slot receivers between Crowder and then a 5th round pick on Khalil Shakur. They brought in a pass catching running back. They didn't bring anybody who can line up and win on the outside. And Gabe Davis is going to he's not coming off the field, and he's going to be attached to Josh Allen, and he's going to be in a offense that's going to lead the league in passing touchdowns and be at the very top of it.
Guess we'll see.
Okay.
I love you, Jeff.
The thing is that if Jeff is saying it, now I have to rethink my position.
Why? Why Jeff, not me? See, that's not fair.
You and I are on the same page.
Bad things about Jamison Crowder and all the other guys that really likes.
I mean, you can say all the bad things you want about Jamison Crowder. That doesn't affect me. I think last year Gabriel Davis's biggest challenge was Emmanuel Sanders on the field. And once
what
Emmanuel
if I were to
Sanders went down,
Kadarius Toney?
They okay.
I would take
I'm,
Gabe
I'm
Davis
gonna
over
say
Kadarius
this
Tony.
as
100%.
a-
Take Davis over
plugged
Kadarius
in-
Tony.
Yeah,
as a
quarterback
plugged-in Buffalo
situation.
fan. I would absolutely take Gabe Davis over Kadarius Tony. It's not even.
Oh,
a
I
question.
would too. Oh, 100%.
The Tampa game prior to the Tampa game last year, they were forcing Emmanuel Sanders onto the field, and they were not playing Gabe Davis. The offense has stalled out. It was a mess against Jacksonville. It was a mess at the first half of the Tampa game. Halftime of the Tampa game, they said, "We're done. We are done doing this. We're playing Gabe Davis." They put him in there. They made that wild comeback where they lost in overtime to the Buccaneers. They were down like 28 or something like that, and they lost in overtime because they had a crazy second half comeback. They played Gabe Davis heavily through the rest of the season. He had 4 touchdowns against the Chiefs in the playoffs. I mean, come on. Like, let's stop doing this. Like, this is ridiculous that everybody is just thinks he's going to be nothing because they brought in a veteran that they liked and that was a good locker room guy that they thought would be a good fit in their offense. And they thought maybe Gabe Davis wasn't quite ready for that role. And then they finally said he is. We need him in that role. And they did that.
And Allen was looking for him, especially against the Chiefs, obviously.
Yes.
Because they are going to cover Diggs a lot more than they are going to be covering Davis. And Davis creates separation. He's a big, taller wide receiver. He has the framework, especially in the red zone.
They don't have anybody else in the roster like him. And that's what people are not recognizing. They don't have anybody else in that receiver room, that roster like him. Isaiah McKenzie is a gadget guy. They've got 2 slot guys. They got Stephon Diggs who's going to work inside and outside, but he's not working vertically like he was. He can, but he's not like he was. And then they brought in another tight end to play more 12 personnel. They don't have anybody else like Gabe Davis.
Makes you think.
I love it. That's great. And Nate, go back and rethink that now that Jeff, agreed with me instead of.
This is why I love you guys.